What up, friends?
What's happening, folks? What's going down?
There's no easy way to fade that out.
There's no easy way.
There's no easy way to fade that out.
It's okay. I mean, nothing that we do is going to be easy.
No, it will never be easy that way. Welcome in, Mullet.
Yes.
And the dude.
Absolutely, the dude abides.
The working name in progress.
Yes.
I am Jeremy Greene. That is Brian Haynes.
Yep.
We are sober this time.
Yes, that's for sure.
Yes. The last time we were on camera together, A, the sound was not this crisp.
No, it was not.
B, we did not have headphones on, so we could not hear each other.
That was true.
And C, the beers had flown
mighty
aggressively.
Fast, mighty fast, mighty early, mighty good.
We have been asked to do the uncensored thing for quite some time. And moving forward, we will be doing this every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
I'm going to keep re-emphasizing that to Brian.
Yeah, every Wednesday.
Put your mic a little closer to you.
A little bit closer. Here we go.
I mean, you don't have to eat it, but just...
Yeah. Hey, guys.
There it is.
Hey, guys.
All right, today we're going to talk a little college football because I would argue this is the best weekend of college football, at least week one, that I've seen in a long time.
I absolutely agree with that 100%. I haven't seen much better over the last couple years. I mean, there's at least 9 or 10 watchable games, easily.
Game you are the most excited about over the weekend is?
Oh, God almighty. Let me see here. I've been talking a lot about the backyard brawl just because it's tomorrow and it's early and it's rock and roll. Let's go with it.
The number one thing that makes me nervous about that is that there's somebody somewhere that actually thinks we can keep that close.
There's been some talk about it. I've heard a couple people talking about it.
And I think those people might be clinically out of their minds.
Absolutely. More than likely they are. Oregon, Georgia, that could get ugly pretty quickly. We were talking about Ohio State, Notre Dame getting ugly pretty quickly. There's some other games on here that, I'm pretty interested in seeing. I want to see what Michigan can do with Colorado State. I mean, Michigan's got to come back out. Harbaugh comes back.
Well, I mean, he's getting his quarterback depth chart from God.
Yes, apparently.
So that's a thing.
We will never know until the first snap of the game who exactly is going to be running out there at quarterback. And
do you find that to be as absolutely out of its damn mind as I do?
I hate that. When the old saying, what do you say? When you got two quarterbacks, you
don't
got
have one.
Yeah, so I mean,
if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one.
Make a damn decision. Harbaugh knows who's going out there.
Well, I mean, he's going to start one in each game.
Yeah.
So McCarthy will start one game, McNamara will start one game.
That's just not how I wanted that to go. I mean, I like Michigan football. I do. I've always been kind of favorable towards them. Got a lot of friends from the Michigan area, so I've been, big fan of them. I had relatives that were out in Michigan. Went by the Big House one time. Pretty awesome stuff. But I'm really surprised that Harbaugh's actually back. I was convinced last year he was going to be gone.
Well, I thought he was going to be the next head coach of the Minnesota Vikings.
Me too. I thought that was the done deal. And here we are. So we'll see what happens. I'm interested to see if they can repeat what they did last year. And basically, by repeating what they did last year, that means they have to beat Ohio State and not lose anybody else, which is going to be tough.
Well, Michigan's a 30.5-point favorite. So I don't think no matter who plays quarterback, Jim Harbaugh could trot out there and play quarterback, and that's not going to matter.
Agreed. I'm just interested to see what they're going to do out there. Because I was a little thrown off by I have no idea who's going to be playing quarterback.
God. When you start quoting Solomon, that's a really bad sign. Mm-hmm. That maybe you are out of your damn mind.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
I look at the biggest games of the weekend.
Okay.
I don't think any of them are as good as we're making them out to be. Georgia, Oregon. Give me a path that Oregon doesn't get absolutely Gary Busey just smashed.
That's what I'm talking about. There's been people talking about how big the games are because of the names that are out there. But Georgia is a far superior team to Oregon.
No doubt.
Without even question, this could get very ugly very fast. We were just talking outside, having a smooth old heater out there.
By the way, Brian Haynes with a new Twitter handle, at Vodka and Heaters.
Yes, absolutely. Sportsocracy is something of the past.
That is dead.
That is dead. We rest that little sucker to peace, Goodbye. We were talking outside. Jeremy's going to be at a wedding.
Yeah, Chief Zach's wedding.
Yeah, he's talking about how even if it's the shortest wedding of all time, it starts at 7:30, which is game time. And by the time that the ceremony ends and he finds himself a TV, he's pretty sure that Notre Dame will be losing by 3 touchdowns.
I could see a path that Notre Dame gets the ball, goes 3 and out, and Ohio State scores in under 2 minutes.
I could see an absolute pass to that. Like, second play from scrimmage, Stroud just drops back and bombs it out, and here we go. Notre Dame does not look good. I do like...
We don't have a quarterback.
Yes. I do like Marcus Freeman. I do.
Oh, I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, I think the guys have, like, drawn to him, his energy. I think there's something to be said. Blowing that lead in the bowl game late in his first appearance kind of scares me a little bit.
Not a great sign.
Not a great sign. But, you know, I think what we're going to see this weekend is more of a separation than most people think of the top 4 or 5 teams that are playing, just distancing themselves from the rest of the league. I mean, let's be clear here. I'm still thinking, I mean, if everybody except for Des Howard in the world thinks that, you know, pretty, I wouldn't want to say chalk, so to speak. I still think you're going to see the same names in the playoff that we've seen over the last couple of years.
Well, you haven't been on air with us. What is your college football playoff? Everybody knows mine because I've screamed it from the rooftops.
Yeah.
It's Alabama, Georgia.
Yeah. Ohio State,
and USC.
Yeah.
Is yours the same as mine?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't see any other path to that. The only thing, I don't see how anybody's going to beat Ohio State. I mean, you know, Michigan beat them last year, but I think their team is way better than it was last year. 100%. Ohio State's team is still stacked.
Well, I mean, Ohio State's walking into this year very simply just saying,
I'm here for the gangbang.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, you got your shots in last year?
Yeah.
Oh, watch this.
Hey guys, you know, you remember all that stuff you talked? We're gonna go ahead and just shove it right down your face.
Hey, Michigan, you remember? You remember? You remember?
Yeah.
When we went into your house last year, you just demolished us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't forget either.
Wait till you come to the orgy. It's gonna be a little bit different.
I think the thing that, at least with Notre Dame, Ohio State,
yeah,
you got to look at the line movement.
Uh-huh.
All right, this started at 13.5.
Right. It's now what, 20-something?
17.
Oh, 17.
17
Not
across
as high as
the
I thought.
17 is the consensus number.
Okay.
It can get as high as 18.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to find a reason to take Notre Dame, there are places to take them.
Yeah.
The thing that blows my mind currently, according to Vegas Insider, 56% of the bets are on Notre Dame.
Huh. There's a lot of dumb Notre Dame fans out there.
How much of the money's on Ohio State?
Oh, God, probably, 80?
70.
Yeah.
68%.
Yeah. Like, come on now.
To me, the smart money's on Ohio State. This game is not close.
No.
It won't last.
No.
And, I mean, if you want a reason to be happy as a Notre Dame fan, well, you're going to get just demolished
by a team that makes the playoffs.
But then you don't but then you don't play another team that's even in your ballpark.
Right.
I mean, Carolina in Carolina. I mean, we'll talk about Carolina later in the show. I think you're going to see something out of them that maybe you don't want to.
Yeah.
And then you play BYU.
Yeah. Wow.
It's a goddamn cougar.
There ain't nothing more freaking terrifying
than a cougar in the car.
Driving with a live cougar in the damn car. You know what I mean?
That's not one of those games that I look at and go, I'm super excited for this. I think this will clearly delineate how much better Ohio State is than damn near everybody in the country.
Right. I've seen some people that have picked Utah to make the playoffs as well. They're playing Florida week 1. That's not an easy start, no matter which way you look at it. Florida is not like they used to be, but they're still not just some sort of scrub you're playing week 1.
I'm going to be honest.
Uh-huh.
All right. If you watch this show, you know that I pick every freaking game that you could possibly pick.
Because he's just a damn degenerate.
I am just a horrible, derelict degenerate. And if you listen to me last week,
I'm broke as shit, and I don't mind saying
I'm sorry, okay? Week 0, maybe you tap on those games next year.
Well, we got something to say about Scott Frost, and his job is
Scott Frost sucks. Scott Frost is I don't even know how over the top I can go on this. Scott Frost is the wet fart of college football.
It's pathetic.
I hate him with such an undying passion.
He's never been able to adjust to the way of football in the Big Ten, and he has just constantly made horrible decision after horrible decision. You're up 11 in Ireland. Like, you're not at home.
You're up 11 on a team that is so good in close games.
Right.
You give them anything.
Yeah.
They're going to take it and run with it.
Right. I just don't understand why in the world that was probably the dumbest thing I've seen since, what was it, the Colts or whoever it was that tried that fake punt a couple years ago?
With the punter lined up under center,
Yeah,
I'm in danger.
I'm in danger. Yeah, I don't know. If he lasts this year, I'll be surprised. I mean, he did play at Nebraska. There might be something to say, well,
that's why he still has a job.
Yes.
He is one of the favorite sons of Nebraska. That is one of the only reasons he still has a job.
Yes.
If it wasn't for that, he would be selling copies at Kinko's.
Yes. Be living off his life selling insurance and
selling feet pictures on OnlyFans. And that's probably, he's more qualified for that.
Yeah.
But back to where we started this, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The hardest game for me to wrap my head around in this week 1 is Utah at Florida.
Yeah. To me, I agree. I don't know which way to look at it. Like I said, I wasn't aware maybe of Utah being as good as people are talking about them. I mean, I know they've been a decent team over the year, but it's hard to look at a Pac-10 or a Pac-12 team or whatever the hell that conference is going to be. I mean, gone pretty much. But it's hard for me to look at any of those teams. USC's a different story because Lincoln Riley's a different coach. And,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's not like they've been in the past. When you talk about USC now, you got to talk about them in a whole different light because Lincoln Riley is that dude. And he's got a quarterback.
Well, I mean, the problem that I have with Florida is it seems like every year they've either been able to score and not stop anybody from scoring, or stop you from scoring with no ability to score.
Absolutely.
And look, I like a lot of pieces at Florida. The quarterback's not one of them.
Nah, absolutely not.
Anthony Richardson is a kid that I do not believe in at all. I trust sashimi more than I trust Anthony Richardson.
And we all know how that sashimi incident went of 2022.
The great sashimi infarction of 2022. Started praying to gods I don't believe in, seeing dead relatives.
Take me now.
Please, Jesus, just let it end. That's one of the hardest games for me to wrap my head around.
Yep.
And I will tell you, Vegas, all over Utah.
Yeah.
But there's something to me to be said about a West Coast team having to come east. Mm-hmm. We talk about it in the NFL. We never talk about it in college football, of which I could argue. That it means more to college teams.
I agree.
Jared Patterson in our YouTube comment said, disagree on Richardson. That's a top 5 NFL pick based on what he's done this summer. Here's the thing that I will caution you.
Uh-huh.
And look, I've been wrong on quarterbacks before. I've been wrong on a slew of quarterbacks before. My problem with Anthony Richardson, I can count on one hand the number of quarterbacks that were ever run first, which he is. Now, he's got a cannon.
Yeah.
He's just horribly inconsistent accuracy-wise.
Right.
This will be a good test for him.
Yes.
I mean, this Utah game is what, if you want to get me on Team AR-15, and yes, I'm going to call him that. I don't give a damn about your gun right views.
Everybody, come on now. He's number
your
15.
Your name is AR, and your number is 15.
Yeah,
all right?
Yeah, we're going to go with that one.
Andrea Karolinko is online, too.
Yeah, exactly.
And Patterson in the YouTube comments said it's based on potential more than anything Josh Allen like.
Yeah.
There is a potential for that.
Yes.
I want to see it first.
Right.
Now, look, could a lot of my hatred be Dan Mullen hatred? Absolutely.
Of course.
I am not a Dan Mullen guy.
We all know that.
Dan Mullen, that is where great offensive talent went to die. That was the cemetery of the SEC.
Yes,
offensively. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a team that at one time had Kadarius Toney and Kyle Pitts.
Right.
And lost, 3 games that year?
3 games that year.
How the hell do you do that?
Yeah. I mean,
and you had Kyle Trask as the point man.
I was going to say, it wasn't like you had some bum at quarterback.
And you were a threat to no one.
Oh, yeah.
But that is a game that I'm looking at this week going, that's going to be a good one. And I think that tells us a lot.
Yeah.
I walk away from that very convinced on whoever the winner is.
Well, another game that I'm interested in just because, obviously we're in North Carolina. Got to look at some of the local stuff going on. NC State's ranked 13th for the first time in ever.
And they shouldn't be.
And I think it's an overranking.
100% it is.
And you're going into ECU, or not going into ECU. Yeah,
you're going into
you're in Greenville.
To take on my buddy,
yeah,
the Fighting Mike Houston.
The Fighting Mike Houstons. Now, let's be clear here. This game's been a rivalry for quite some time. this isn't just we're going to go in and win this game.
Mm-hmm.
They better be ready to play. They better not have the ego of saying we're number 13th in the nation. We're going to run all over these guys. Because then you might have that little bit of a hiccup.
NC State is the dad that went out for a pack of smokes in 1997 and never came back.
Has not come back.
Because they let you down every time you believe it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm telling you right now, there is no pick in week 1 that I feel better about
Yes.
than ECU plus 11.5.
Plus 11.5. Wow, that's great.
Well, that number has buoyed
So much.
for weeks.
I mean,
Because I'm not going to lie, I got it on the high side.
I'm not saying that NC State's a bad team.
They're
Should
not.
They should have definitely been a top 20 team. I think 13th is a little high. I think 13th puts them in an awkward position, but a good position for if they are a good team to make a leap up into where they can be at. Because let's be clear here, the ACC is not the ACC that's actually been good, but I mean, I don't even know what to think about Clemson this year.
We'll get to Clemson in a minute.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I don't understand. We talked about this on the ESPN show yesterday. Here's what I don't get with NC State. Everybody talks about what they're returning. Mm-hmm. You didn't beat anybody.
No.
All right, so and look, I understand that carry over year is a big deal. Having guys, continuity, blah, 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 blah. You had 4 legitimate offensive players and Devin Leary last year.
Right.
All 4 of those guys are gone.
They're gone.
Bam Knight's with the Jets.
Yep.
Ricky Person's gone.
Yep.
Emeka Emezi's gone.
Yep.
Ike Mkwanu's gone.
Yep.
That's a friggin' lot to lose.
That is huge, especially on the line.
That is a lot to lose. And look, I'm not saying the line's not good. I think it'll be fine. This is one of those times that I think ECU is underrated, and maybe it's the fact that I pay so much attention to them.
Yes. And we all believe
I've
in
known Mike Houston since I was 12 years old.
And we believe in him as a coach.
Absolutely.
You know?
And you know what Mike Houston has in common? If you look at his track record, year 3, every place he's ever been,
100%.
That team is better than you think.
And you know that he has been all offseason. They have been gearing towards this one game. Like, they have been rocking and rolling. They've watched so much tape of NC State. It's a bad matchup for NC State week 1.
This is not a great way for NC State to kick off.
I agree.
Now, I will say the same thing about NC State that I said about Florida.
Yeah.
You come in here and win this game, all right, now I'm all in.
Yeah.
Now I'm all in.
Yeah.
And nationwide, you won't see that. I know this ECU team backwards and forwards.
Right.
I know this is a quality team.
Yeah.
I know this is a team that they won every game last year they were supposed to.
Yes, absolutely.
And they return a lot. They're right there with NC State in terms of returning production.
Yep.
This would be a huge win for NC State. And I'm not telling you that I think ECU wins. I'm just very dogmatic that they cover.
I could see a very easy path where they cover, where this could be a 10-point game and they still cover. And, ECU or NC State's up by, 17 points. ECU scores a late touchdown and we're at 10. And it's over with and there we go. I mean, that could be the bet of the week, I would think.
Well, I mean, Jared Patterson, again, on fire in our YouTube comments.
Yes.
He said, I was in person last year for ECU app, and ECU was just so damn bad.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to harken back to that game because I watched every snap of it.
Yeah.
ECU, talent-wise, was not in App's ballpark.
Yeah, we're not.
That game was in Charlotte.
Yes.
All right, that was at Bank of America. That was brightest lights that these ECU guys have ever seen.
Yeah.
App State was a different ballpark than them.
Yes.
That game was close for 3 quarters.
It was.
There was a turnover at the end of the 3rd, beginning of the 4th. I can't remember which one. They put App in plus territory. That's where they went up 2 scores. That's where the game was really put out of reach.
Right.
ECU couldn't move the ball. They couldn't do anything offensively.
No.
Ehlers wound up throwing, I think he had 300 yards.
Yeah.
He was somewhere in that ballpark. And they lose by 2 scores. That's kind of my point.
Right.
That's kind of my point, is that this team stays closer than you think. They're more talented than you think. One of my favorite bets of the weekend.
Yes. And
another big game, speaking of Appalachian State. It's another big game in this here state.
Yes.
30 seconds on your take of this game.
App State. All the way.
Really?
Yes. I just have a feeling that this could be one of those years that you find an App State hanging around that top 25, being in a position to be, of all the teams that I've seen move up in a division over the last 10 years.
App State did it very seamlessly.
There was nothing. Like, I thought it was going to take them a few years. They came through, and they get recruits, man. That stadium out there is nice. Boone's cool place to go to.
Oh, and it's going to be insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I was supposed to be at this game.
Yes.
I have 2 tickets for this game sitting on my desk.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I can't go.
I cannot go.
I can't go.
Well,
Which makes me very sad.
Well, you have, priorities.
I do.
Yeah.
Chief Zach's too good of a friend for me to go.
You can't miss Chief Zach's wedding.
I mean, and I'm not going to lie. There was a thought that was in my head of, I got to poop. Don't watch ESPN. You might see a mulleted man in the crowd.
Exactly right. Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't make the wedding. And then they find the old ginger beard out there.
So you're all in on app.
I am.
Vegas agrees with you.
Yeah.
60% of the bets are on Carolina. 62% of the money's on App State.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not going to lie. I don't think I agree with you.
Really?
I don't.
You believe in
For
May?
2 words. Chase, Bryce.
Heard.
End of story. End of message. Repeat the line.
Heard.
You're coming up against one of the best secondaries in the country.
They are, and, they're finally, Chiswick being back is a huge upgrade. And coordinator-wise, defensively, I think. Did you see a lot out of May week 1 that made you believe
I always
anything?
believed in Drake May.
Yeah.
I said he was a Sam Howell clone. He's just a little taller.
I was very impressed with what I saw.
And look, a lot of people will say, well, it's an HBCU. It's a lower level school. They still have the best HBCU player in the country.
Period.
One of the best pass rushers in the country.
Period.
And I understand they had a lot of ineligible and blah, 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 blah. I get it.
Yeah, it was tough for them.
I saw a lot of composure first game under the lights.
They scored 24 points with 20 guys ineligible.
I don't care.
I
really don't care. I feel like a lot of people, I think that is why people are buoying to App State.
Yeah.
App State's the consistent.
I'm not going to lie. That's part of my reasoning on going all in on App State this weekend. What's the line at right now?
Depends on where you get it. There's more fluctuation on this one than about anything. It ranges from a pick'em to Carolina minus 1.5.
I don't like those.
I hate this line.
I don't want to pick any of that.
I hate this line.
Yeah, there's no way. I don't even know if I would go if it was that 3 that I would be making a decision either way.
Is Tony Grimes going to play in this game?
I'm not.
I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
I have not heard a definitive, but I can tell you the injury did not look ideal.
Not ideal at all. I mean, are they going to be able to stop Downs?
If he plays.
Yeah.
They could be without Josh. If they're without, look.
Okay.
I don't often change picks based on a wide receiver and a corner.
Right.
If there's no Tony Grimes and there's no Josh Downs, that line's going to move by 2 solid points.
It's got to.
Because Josh Downs is the consistent threat that you're worried about.
100%.
I like Morales. I like a lot of players on this team. We're Carolina affiliates.
Yes.
So I lean to Carolina if everybody plays.
Right.
But at the same time, I come back to how loud is Boone going to be?
Oh, my God. It's not an easy place to go play.
It's not an easy place to go play anyway.
Yeah.
This is the biggest game they've ever had.
Oh, I agree. At the stadium.
I think it's the biggest game they've ever had, period.
Really?
I do. I think this is the biggest game they've ever had, period.
Even the Michigan game from years back.
But you didn't know that going in.
Right.
I'm talking about from a hype standpoint.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Obviously.
I think this is the biggest game they've ever had.
Where you feel like you have a shot at beating a team when you're in this division, when you're in the, the rankings are not a FCS school or anything, you know what I mean? You're going to do... It's a huge game. I don't know if Carolina's ready the fans are going to be, there's going to be a lot of Carolina fans there too.
See, I don't think so.
No?
I think this will be 90-10 App State.
Really?
And I can just tell you, I had to go through Carolina channels to get tickets.
Oh, so
and I got a press pass.
And that's what tells you that right there. Man.
It wasn't easy.
God almighty, that place is going to be rocking.
I mean, I didn't have to give any over-the-pants HJs, but it wasn't easy.
No. That's going to be a rocking stadium. There are going to be some drunk people out there, man.
If they show anybody in the press box and you see somebody wearing a placard that says Jeremy Greene that looks absolutely nothing like me, what are you, a cop?
Yeah, what are you, cop? Yeah. Who are you? Don't do crimes.
A question was asked earlier pro prospects this weekend that you're really intrigued to see?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, for me, C.J. Stroud's the one that jumps off the board.
It is.
I want to see what you look like without Olave, without Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I agree.
And I know we saw that in the Rose Bowl. I get that, but okay, that was one game where both of you were missing guys.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's a lot of really good players. I want to see how many sacks Will Anderson can get.
100 against Utah State.
Yeah.
107.
I think I really like this guy.
Utah State struggled with UConn.
Yeah.
What do you think Alabama is going to do to them?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that I'm looking forward to seeing. Running backs. I mean, because, a lot of our stuff is geared towards fantasy football. So is there a guy you're looking at this weekend saying, oh, that's going to be one of the top 3 picks in fantasy next year?
Oh, I mean, Bijan Robinson is the number 1 running back by a mile.
A jillion.
I care more about him playing Alabama in a week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who does Texas even play?
I don't know.
I know it wasn't anybody that I gave a damn about.
Yeah, exactly.
UL Monroe. They're favored by 37.5. So that's just, it's not something that I was, in terms of running backs, once you get past Bijan Robinson, you get to Jahmyr Gibbs at Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing Utah State.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really care.
Yeah.
This is not a great
The
running
kid
back
out of
class.
Syracuse is not too bad.
Sean Tucker.
Yeah. That's the one good thing I'm looking for this season as a Syracuse
You do have a quality running back.
We have one person on the team.
Are you going to run the power I?
It's
Because you don't have a quarterbap.
It's not going to happen.
Who is your quarterback?
Schrader? Yeah. Am I saying? Is that right? That's how bad this year has been for me when it comes to the Syracuse football.
Holy shit! Tyler Cunningham in our YouTube comment said, "I will be at the Bama Texas game."
Ooh.
If anybody wants to be on the sideline, DM or email me.
Yeah, that guy right there.
I know a fella. I can be on a plane in. I can be on a plane in 45 minutes.
Right.
I have enough frequent flyer miles to fly to the moon.
Yes, we are starting Garrett Schrader at quarterback.
Hot.
Yeah.
That's sex.
That's
sex.
That's not good at all.
Rob Johnson in the comments said Travion Henderson. That's, to me, that one's very obvious.
Oh yeah.
I think everybody for Ohio State has a good day.
Yeah.
I don't think you walk away from that going, well, that was a problem. JT Money said you have a wedding to be at. Not next week, I don't. Next week, I'm free as a bird, baby.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's see here.
And Daddy can be on a plane drinking Jack and Cokes in 45 minutes.
Pretty quick.
I keep a go bag in my car just for situations like this.
Right.
And because, sometimes you end up drunk in public and you need a new shirt. Speaking of, this is a totally non-sports question, but it's one that I put on my list of things I wanted to ask you. This is going to sound accusatory when I ask.
Okay, heard.
But I don't mean for it to be.
Yes.
Do you drink every day?
Okay, so I would say that I pour myself a drink when I get home from work 95% of the time.
That was not an alcoholic beverage.
Just so you guys know. I these days I'm lean towards I drink vodka and Monsters. That's what I drink at home.
God, how do you do that shit?
It's crazy. I mean,
vodka and Monster. I did that one time.
Yeah,
it was vodka and Red Bull.
Yeah.
And the problem is that you end up drunk with the spins, and you're so wired that you can't go to sleep.
It doesn't do. It's more the taste for me. I guess maybe I'm like it, but. Lately, I've been, working a lot, getting home. I'll have 2, and then it's a decision of whether I want to keep drinking or if I want to just eat some food and go to bed. Now, when I was drinking beers, if I had 1 beer, it was all the beers.
See, that's the problem I have.
Yeah.
So yesterday on the ESPN show, Tank said, nobody's had a good story on a Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
Well, I didn't namely take that as a challenge.
Yes.
But... Mm-hmm. I came in late yesterday.
Oh.
I was footloose and fancy free.
Ready to rock and roll.
For those of you that don't know, I'm usually here 12 hours a day.
It's pretty crazy. 70 hours a week, if not more.
I work a lot.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I have a very patient wife.
You do.
So I was a little footloose and fancy free yesterday. I somehow managed to be drunker when I woke up this morning than I was when I fell asleep.
Yeah.
I got up because we came in early to prep and all the things. So we were supposed to be here at 7:30.
Yes, I got a text message from Jeremy that says, "Jesus, take the wheel."
That's my wife's alarm. I heard that and I went, that's the mantra for the day.
Jesus, take the wheel, hauling ass. And I said I woke up not too much earlier before that.
I woke up 7 minutes ago, and here we go.
I was like, don't worry, buddy. I'm on the way too, man. So worked out pretty good for both of us. How many beers did you crush last night?
To what I recall.
This is, recollection is tough sometimes.
We were in public. At the Village Porch, which is where we will be watching football this NFL season.
Yes. Every Sunday?
Every Sunday.
Wonderful.
Minus one. I have one prior engagement.
Okay.
And Tank will be there that Sunday.
Uh-huh.
I believe, and I'm doing math.
Yeah.
Amy drinks tequila.
She does.
So hers is really easy to add up because hers is about $10 a shot.
Yeah.
I believe I had 7 domestic light beers.
Okay.
And 7 double shots of Fireball.
Double shots of
Fireball. Yeah, they like me there. And when I say double shot, you know the guy who bartends there.
Oh, yeah, I do.
I believe you used to work together.
Oh, yeah.
His double shots are aggressive.
Yes. They're not looking too much on their inventory.
I'm not going to. Not for me. They like me a lot. I went home and tried to play Fortnite.
Oh.
You ever try to play Fortnite after a billion years?
I haven't played a video game in probably 15 years. I
played more video games than I'm proud of.
That's another story. Tony Hawk 2 ruined me. I started missing. I was playing that. What's that? 20 years ago?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, I was sitting there. I was missing work. I was staying up late because I was just trying to get the damn rail, like hit the freaking rail and just ride around there and beat my previous score. I decided at that point that I have too many addictions. Video games cannot be one of them.
So I sat down last night. HWA was like, "I'm going to take a bath before we go to bed," and I mean, I'm obviously poured myself another beverage,
100%,
because I am the John Daly of Buncombe County. So once I start, it's on.
Yeah,
and I knew I was in trouble. I am reasonably good at Fortnite.
Yes,
and yes, that is not a deep flex. It's just I'm just being honest.
Yeah,
I'm good at video games. I always have been. Madden.
Yeah.
If you want me to hurt your feelings, I will.
Yeah.
So I get into the game.
Uh-huh.
I'm running around.
Right.
There's too much stuff happening.
Yeah.
So I have my little gun out. I see somebody, and then I literally just went, ah!
See, that's really funny because I'm the guy with those kind of games that I'm the guy that's running into the wall and shooting straight up and down because I can't figure out the damn controls. I'm just like that. They're running into the wall going, rah, rah, like shooting.
Well, that's basically what I did.
Yeah.
And so Amy came out, and I had gotten killed for about the 4th time. And and across the screen said, "You finished 77th.
Yeah.
There's 100 people that drop off in Fortnite.
Yeah.
I usually top 10 at worst.
Yeah.
And she walked out in a robe, looked at the television screen and went, "Oh, good hell, you are drunk."
Yeah.
Oh, good hell, you are drunk.
Tomorrow morning's gonna be fun.
Let's go to bed now. Let's go to bed now.
Let's find a way to make it towards the bedroom, sir.
In the YouTube comments, people are talking about Madden. I'm gonna be honest with you. Madden is. I have played the new one. It is a little bit of a reboot. But I mean, it's worth buying. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
And if you do buy it, shoot me a little DM and I'll hurt your feelings.
that's and we need to know exactly the scores of every one of those games.
I played Tank and was trying to be nice. And I beat him 77-10.
Oh, he scored.
He did score.
Okay.
Yes, he did score.
So he's got that going for him.
And I would be lying if I said it. I had 9 interceptions, I think. That's where I just toy with you.
Yes.
The Jamal Adams days with the Jets. That was fun. God, I would just hurt your feelings.
Sneaking.
Brent Cottonola, a guy that watches this show, he's the only person I've ever played that is legitimately no doubt better than me. I did beat him once.
Yeah.
That he has beaten me like a kettle drum repeatedly.
I'm sure there's 15,000 people in the comment section that'll say they're the best Madden player because everybody believes they're the best Madden player when it comes to that.
Kevin Vick in the YouTube comment said, "You're a PlayStation guy. I'm on Xbox, so that's a no-go. Not this year because it's backward compatible."
Oh, snap dizzle.
You could be on your Xbox, and I can be on my PlayStation.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That is an interesting
That's a new
tournament.
New little feature.
I like it.
Rob Johnson asked, "Did Tom Brady get sacked 40 times?" He actually didn't play with the Bucs.
Because he knew.
He played with the Cowboys, I think.
Of course he did.
And I was the Jets.
Yeah.
And that only happened once.
Yes.
He did hang it. Actually, that's a lie. We played twice. And he hung in much better the second time.
Yes.
It was still like 47-7, but still.
I mean, it wasn't a 70 burger on there.
It shocks me that you're not a video game guy.
I
I would have thought you were a video game guy.
I used to be, and then, there's not enough time in the day for me that takes into my drinking time.
You can do both at the same time.
Well, I know, but then it gets aggressive. I also have a very hard time focusing for that long on one thing.
A little ADHD.
Yeah, just a little tad bit. I don't know if anybody knows who the dude is here, but sitting still is not one thing that he can usually do. Sitting in one spot with a controller in his hand is another thing. That's aggressive for me.
Bill Buttigieg said, "I want no smoke on the sticks." I've had a lot of people say that to me over the years.
That's what I told you.
One of the worst. I'm not proud of this.
No,
but it is funny.
Okay.
The headset.
Uh-huh.
I don't use the headset because the things that come out of my mouth will both be offensive. They could get me canceled. It's bad.
No one wants to get canceled.
I did the headset thing for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I played a kid that sounded, I'm going to say 12.
Ugh.
He was somewhere in the ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
And this kid would not shut up.
Yeah.
At halftime.
Uh-huh.
Halftime.
Uh-huh.
I was up 98-0.
Ouch.
And I paused the game,
Uh-huh.
and I said, "I'm going to let you quit now with what little shred of dignity you
Yes.
actually have. And then I need you to do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to take this game out of your console.
Exactly.
Put it into the case.
Uh-huh.
Ask your mommy to take you to GameStop and trade this shit in because you could not possibly be this bad at anything
For
else.
one U.S. doll hair.
You could not be this bad at anything else.
Yeah. No. And he probably cried.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah. I mean, that's not your fault. No. Not at all.
Yeah. Fair is the only fair in life is a thing that shows up once a year with Ferris wheels and clowns.
Yes, they do. They come around. And the New York State Fair is quite aggressive.
It's actually getting ready to come around here.
Is that right?
Yeah. The fair will be here in a week. The
It's
Apple
here-
Festival is this weekend.
And the fair in North Carolina is in what city?
It's here.
It's in Asheville. Well,
The Ag Center. How long have you lived here?
4 years, but I haven't had much time to do anything other than 2 years of quarantine where I couldn't leave the damn house.
That's right. You lived in Charlotte.
Yeah, I was in Charlotte for like 20 years.
I forgot about that.
Grew up in upstate New York.
Yeah, Amy asked me, these were back-to-back questions.
Yes.
And I can't emphasize this enough. I love that woman with every fiber of my being. She's the sweetest human being I've ever met.
Yes.
We've been together almost 5 years.
Yeah.
She asked me Monday,
Uh-huh.
back-to-back sentences.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to go to the Apple Festival? I would rather slit my wrists and lay in a tub of Tabasco sauce.
Slide down a razor blade into a pool of alcohol.
And then immediately followed that up with the next week, do you want to go to the fair with me?
Now,
I would rather batter my face and dip it in the oil.
here is the thing about the fair. You just spoke of right there. Funnel cakes alone are a reason to go to the fair.
I'm going to say something that...
You haven't ever had a fucking funnel cake.
No, I've had a funnel
Oh,
cake.
thank God.
I don't think they're as good as everybody else does.
What? Fried
It's
dough
like
with sugar.
It's like a deep-fried donut.
Exactly.
See, I don't like crispy things. I want it to be
It's
doughy.
soft. It is.
It is, but it's not.
With cinnamon sugar on top. How can you go wrong?
It's deep-fried diabetes.
Absolutely. Most also at fairs, gigantic turkey legs.
Yeah, I'm out. Fuck that. I'm not eating poultry that was cooked by Cletus the Slack-jawed Yokel. That's not happening.
Whoa. Calm down there. Yeah.
I spent too much time in West Virginia. I have seen what food looks like when it comes from people whose typhus are not intactus.
Not all there. Now, see, the other thing about a fair, and this maybe goes back to my days going to the New York State Fair, which is in Syracuse, New York, was the people watching is also fantastic. The amount I would be able to count before mullets came back into fashion, it would be how many mullets can I find at the said New York State Fair. It was a good thing. There was probably at least 50 to 60 Kentucky waterfalls flowing around that place like it was nobody's business.
No, I mean, the Kentucky waterfall has nothing on the West Virginia waterfall, which is, across the table from you.
Yeah, no, there's no match to that. But
it has gotten very gross. I mean, I fit in now at a state fair.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, just be really honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jesus.
You're at a fair, and you see this coming at you.
Yeah.
What do you and you've seen my wife.
Yes.
So just imagine me with HWA, and you see this coming to you.
Yes.
Tell me, fact or fiction, the first thing you look at that guy and go, that dude's either loaded or is hung like a Louisville Slugger.
Yeah, and I'm also, if I have children, I'm probably grabbing their hand.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, God.
Just, hey, get a little closer here, son.
Oh, yeah. Oh, if I accidentally take a wrong turn and I end up next to an elementary school, crimes. Arrested.
They're like, this guy looks a bit suspicious.
I don't get fairs.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I like
There's nothing there that intrigues me.
I'm not a roller coaster guy. I have
Really?
I have a bit of claustrophobia, and when they lock me into place and Brian is not able to move, Brian gets really fidgety, and also I hate wearing shoes. Period. It's sandals all the time.
That is the least surprising thing I've ever heard.
And when I'm on a Ferris or if I'm on a roller coaster, it feels like I'm constantly having to grip my toes into my sandals so that I don't lose them. And go barefoot at a fair?
On the ride, they have cubbies just for that.
Yeah, but then you're stepping where no. You gotta take care of your feet, man. Haven't you ever watched fucking Forrest Gump? Of course you haven't watched Forrest Gump.
I have seen Forrest. That's one of my favorite movies.
Okay, thank God.
You went to Woodstock 99 and you're worried about taking your shoes off on a fucking roller coaster.
That's probably the reason why.
100%.
You got to understand, in my younger, more impressionable years, I did lots of things. Woodstock 99 was one of them. I'm from a very small town in upstate New York called Constantia, New York. Griffith Air Force Base, where the concrete jungle of Woodstock 99 was, is basically 20 minutes from where I grew up. I went home. I went to the concert. It's worse than what you see on Netflix.
How many people saw your dinger in that 3-day period?
Anybody who was around me for the first day and a half.
Did you go full Dio?
I went full. I mean, I went all. It was all there.
You went all naked?
I didn't have a care in the world. You got to also understand, I didn't even know what my name was half the time I was there.
This is, I think, the breaking news of the day. You went full naked.
We talked about this. Yes, I thought we spoke about this last week, but no. Yeah, dinglings were out. Dinglings were out.
How with bated breath did you watch that documentary?
Very, very closely.
I mean, every dinger that you saw, was it not?
I was like, is that? I recognize that thing anywhere.
All right, looking for a freckle. Looking for a freckle.
Most of what they show, I was in certain spots, but when the shit hit the fan, I was, you got to remember, 400,000 people were there. So when the shit hit the fan, start burning stuff up, I was probably 100,000 people back. I wasn't a Limp Bizkit fan really at that time. You got to remember.
Who'd you go to see?
Who
on the bill did you go?
I wanted to see Chili Peppers. I wanted to see
most overrated band of all time.
I know you think that, but
they're awful.
I know what you think.
I'm also will say if Flea's penis committed a crime and I saw it, they would catch him in 5 seconds.
Absolutely,
because that documentary showed it a lot.
Now I was more of the Again, remember, my younger, more impressionable years, I was quite the hippie. I mean, I fouled fish around the country selling necklaces and grilled cheese sandwiches for 6 months.
Yes.
It was awesome. I'd make barely bread, barely cheese. I had a sandwich maker. I would get 3 loaves of barely bread at $1 a piece, packs of cheese at $1 a piece, and just pump out that sandwich maker at $1 a piece. I was making $100 to $200 a show. It was pretty awesome.
Grilled cheeses at a fish concert.
Yes.
See, to you, you're telling this story like, yes, that's the thing I did.
Yeah.
I've had nightmares just like that.
Yes. It was, again, I was very
I
young.
mean, in my nightmare, it's a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
But I'm doing the same thing at the Democratic National Party convention.
I could see that.
Like I'm outside of a Hillary Clinton cart handing out grilled cheese sandwiches.
Cartman on South Park, when I think they did an episode where Fish came around, he was like, hippies everywhere. All they do is smoke pot, smell bad. And I was like, yeah, that's probably pretty accurate.
Brian smelled like patchouli for the vast majority of the aughts.
And was probably my best pickup line. You smell like patchouli. Would you like to go back to my tent?
Yes.
Can I bring a friend? Sure. That was
100%.
Yeah. I mean, every Father's Day, I thank God there's no technology around in 1999 that could lead me back to those kind of days.
Nobody has ever turned down a tricycle with a straight face.
Exactly. But yeah, Woodstock 99 was pretty crazy.
By the way, if you're just tuning into this here program, the irreverence of this is very much what this is going to look like on a week-to-week basis.
Oh, absolutely.
We're going to talk about sports.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you get 3 hours of me talking about sports a day.
Yeah. We're gonna splash in some sports with a little bit of fun. A little bit of outside-the-box talk. A little bit of, maybe we can't really talk pop culture that much because Jeremy doesn't know any of that shit.
I actually know more of it than you think.
Interesting.
I am the person to play Seen It with that will straight piss you off.
Well, here's the thing. If it's a documentary, Seen It, you're probably going to kill it.
Oh, I will rampage you on a documentary. I have seen every documentary
There's
ever
not
made.
a documentary that Jeremy has not seen.
They make documentaries and mail them to my house. I get DVD copies of documentaries just to make sure they are the level of a documentary.
Oh, my God.
Speaking of that.
Speaking of documentaries.
And then after this, we'll get back to we'll get back to actual sports.
Yeah.
Have you seen the AND1 documentary?
I have.
How much AND1 apparel did you own?
I did not own much of the AND1 apparel because it was a little bit past my time of being really young. I watched.
So you were to selling necklaces and grilled cheese sandwiches with fish.
I was into a couple things more than, and remember I played basketball as well. So I mean, AND1. I remember watching it on ESPN when they did the tour, when they found the professor and all that. Did I ever see the DVDs or anything like that? I was not all into that. I'm also really funny that people thought that the AND1 guys could actually play in the pros.
Well, one of them did.
Ray Ralston did. He tried to play in the pros.
He played in the league for years.
He played for 5 years.
He played longer than that.
No.
Oh, yeah, he played longer than that.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Skip to my Lou?
Skip to my Lou played in the NBA. God, he's only 46 right now.
Right now. Okay.
He looks 74 years old.
Of course.
Wow. You said 5 years?
5 years, yeah.
You missed it by half.
Half. He played 10 years.
Played 12.
Well, 12. Okay, well,
For about 406 teams.
Yes.
The Bucks, the Raptors, twice. The Heat, the Rockets, the Magic, the Nets. And the Heat twice.
I think I remember the Rockets. Don't remember anybody else.
I owned more AND1 merchandise than I'm proud of. And you got to understand, in its heyday, I was like 12.
Right.
But I specifically remember the heart shirt.
Okay, yeah.
And I remember the one that said, because my mother hated the shirt, that said, "You better go to church and pray you don't guard me."
Yeah.
I wore that to school a lot.
I could see.
Because who's shocked that little 12-year-old sweet J. Jeremy was just absolutely fucking insufferable?
No, I'm sure he was probably the worst child that's ever walked the face of the planet.
You would see me warming up as the team you were playing against, and you would go, "Oh my God, the fat one's never going to shut up."
Yeah,
he won't shut up for 4 quarters.
I guarantee he's going to hurt me when he fouls me, and if he stays in the game long enough.
Oh, I was dirty as hell.
Did you wear your AND1 shirts to school?
Yes.
Were you also wearing sweatpants?
I was very much a shorts kind of guy.
Yeah,
athletic shorts kind of guy.
I always felt like in my day when you'd wear, the sweatpants to school, that's definitely when you would get pantsed in the hallway most of the time.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. You kind of had the same thing as me.
Yeah.
I was not necessarily the one you would choose to do that to. Yeah. I was the biggest kid in the class was about 75% of my time in school.
Yes. Yeah.
So I was not the one that you went, "Hey, let me go fuck with that guy.
Let me go pants the big, tall, fat guy."
Yeah, let me. And I wasn't as angry back then as I am now. I was the affable, lovable fat guy. What's funny is I run into people that I went to high school with, and they're like, "You were always so nice," and I'm like, "Yeah, I grew up to be the biggest jerk you will ever meet in your life."
I put on a good front for you guys for a while there, and then I found out the real world, and it pissed me off. You know what really grinds my gears?
The world, life,
People. Fuck you,
life
people.
really pisses me off. We got people in the YouTube comments asking Bills Rams bets. With no Tre'Davious White, it makes me like the Rams exponentially more.
I know. Here's the thing. How hurt is Matthew Stafford?
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something to keep an eye on. But I mean, all right, this is another one of those things that I'm going to say that's not going to be real popular with people.
Okay.
I don't really care.
Yeah.
I don't think Matthew Stafford is that great of a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Something we're going to do on the ESPN show today. Top 25 most overrated players.
Oh, he's going to be one of them. Maybe.
He will go much higher than you think.
Really? Coming off a Super Bowl win.
Jared Goff got them to a Super Bowl.
He did, but he did
and
not.
It was a team that was not as talented as the one Matthew Stafford just won.
I agree with that 100%.
So if Jared Goff had won that Super Bowl, am I supposed to now think he is? Oh, is he a top 10 quarterback in the NFL? No. Matthew Stafford has literally gone from the most underrated player in the league to one of the most overrated.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyler Cunningham in the YouTube comments, I'm more worried about the line than I am Stafford. I agree with you a lot.
100% on that one. I think this is, I honestly believe this is going to be a Bills destruction year. I could easily see them going 15-1 or 14-2. Or no, not even 16-1, 15-2.
There you go.
Had to fix that up.
Mathing
hard when they changed things on me.
I do. I'm all in on the Bills.
Yeah. I mean,
that's my Super Bowl pick. I'm not coming off of it. I don't.
There's no way in hell. It's 100%. It's all in. I mean, I don't think people talk about Dayball leaving and it being a big deal.
I don't care.
I just don't care. I
think they're in good hands with Ken Dorsey, who was there under Dayball.
Exactly. And I've always believed in Ken Dorsey anyways. I always thought he should have gotten more shot here in Carolina than he did.
I mean, I wouldn't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I think he was the right choice to replace Dayball. I think he'll be fine. And a year from now, he's probably head coach in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, if this team goes 14-3, the offense takes even another step forward.
Right. Come on.
He's the no doubt.
Yeah.
The hot shot in the next hiring cycle.
100%.
Still a young guy.
Still young. I mean, God, remember those Miami teams were
and minus
loaded.
Minus the fact he has the biggest ears on the planet Earth, and he's got a little cachet.
Those are large ears.
Yeah, he looks like a 67 Chevy with the doors open. That's really his biggest drawback.
That's 67 Chevy with his doors open.
That's a line my grandfather was real fond of.
I like that one a lot. Yeah, I mean, I can see they're talking about the Rams and the Bills. I think Bills going to win by 3 touchdowns.
Good God.
Yeah.
Bills are a 2.5-point favorite. I'd probably take the Rams.
Really?
Yeah. No Tre'Davious White, that scares me.
That's true.
But, I mean, then I look at and I'm going to be honest with you. I could see a path the Bills start slow. I could see them 2-2 coming out of the first 4 games without Tre'Davious White. I could see them losing at the Ravens and losing at the Rams. I don't think they're going to lose the Dolphins, and I sure as hell don't think they're going to lose the Titans in Buffalo.
No.
I mean, their schedule is evil.
It's pretty
Until
bad.
you get to the backside. The backside's not nearly as evil.
Right. I don't know. The Bills, I don't know if one corner is going to make a difference when you score 50.
The offense is going to be very good. I mean, even adding Khalil Shakir.
Right.
You crushed it with a 5th-round draft pick that's now your slot guy.
Yeah.
And they have 5 legitimate wide receivers.
Oh, yeah.
Satisfied Browns fan asked Panthers-Browns Week 1 bets. Let me ask you a question. I'm curious.
Uh-huh.
Set the line. I know you didn't look at it because we hadn't.
No, we have not. We have not looked at it. I'm going to say it's Carolina's favored by 3.
God, you are way better at this than Tank.
Uh-huh.
Carolina -2.
Uh-huh.
I'll take that. I will put everything I own on the Browns.
Really?
Everything I own.
You think it's going to be Baker trying to show something?
As soon as I heard Baker say, I'm going to fuck them up, I went, okay.
Yeah,
that has 3 interceptions written all over it.
That's what I was going to say. That means you're going to try to force the ball into something that you should not be doing.
I cannot emphasize this enough.
Uh-huh.
I do not want him to have the chip on his shoulder.
Right.
I've seen that guy.
Yeah, and it's not good.
Do you remember when things went sideways with Odell Beckham Jr. and all of a sudden now Baker's trying to prove himself?
Right.
That's the worst he ever played.
Yeah, absolutely. If he tries to throw the ball more than 5 yards down the field, it's not going to be good.
And look, I like the weapons.
They've got a ton of weapons.
You seem to be people seem to be undervaluing Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, a line that is gelling.
Yes.
It's not there yet.
No.
You already got Darnold killed.
Yes. And
to me, that's not even that difficult.
No.
That's one of the easier bets of the first week to me.
And I'm going to butcher the name. The kid from NC State that got drafted.
Ike
Ekwonu has not looked.
Hadn't been good.
He ain't been good at all. Now, Brady Christian has looked really good. But are you going to move him over, put Ekwonu on the edge and just see what happens?
I think you're asking a lot of. I think you're asking a lot of an initial, of a line initially, a lot of tumultuous things.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a low-scoring game.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I would say if I had to put a number on it, the over-under is 41.5, so I'll go under that.
Under that aggressively.
20-10 Browns.
Yeah.
23-10 Browns. Somewhere in that
Myles Garrett might have 5 sacks.
He's going to have a day.
Yeah.
He's going to have – and the thing that I've continuously laughed about, everybody wants to talk about Baker getting back at the Browns.
Right.
They fucking hated him.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, this is like the annoying kid that you had to deal with in school, and now he's transferred to another high school, and you get to play him.
Now let's take a look at this as well. This is from like a Stefanski point of view here. Now, yes, we're going to trade you, and we're going to take a guy who has 55 allegations against him because we don't care about you anymore. And now we're going to come in here. We know you're at this team. We're playing you week 1. I'm going to beat you with Jacoby Brissett and prove to every single person in this town that still thinks that Baker Mayfield should be on the team and we should have never got this guy. When Jacoby Brissett beats Baker Mayfield week 1.
I've routinely said I don't think there's a step back.
Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett to Baker Mayfield, I do not think there's a step back. If there is, it is fractional at best.
Jacoby Brissett has been a great fill-in quarterback for the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm. He's fine.
He's not overly great. He's probably not going to do anything that's going to hurt you.
He won't beat you.
And here's the thing. You just have to turn around and hand the ball off. You got 2 of the best running backs in the damn league on your team.
Mm-hmm.
Run the ball.
And that's exactly how that's going to go.
And then you go play action, and then you hit Cooper over the top for a 50-yard bomb one time. Or,
David Bell.
Schwartz.
In our YouTube comments, Kevin Vick seems very dogmatic on the Carolina Panthers.
Listen, let's be clear here. Love you, Kevin Vick. Good to see you again, buddy. I have seen, and you know who else is pretty high on the Carolina Panthers? Mr. Orlovsky. Dan Orlovsky.
If you're a Panther fan, that should scare the shit out of you.
Yeah. He says, I think it was yesterday, that Carolina is now a playoff team. I don't see a chance in hell that they make the playoffs. At all.
I've seen more shocking things, but it would surprise the hell out of me.
It would be you're the 3rd best team in that division.
So where I was headed with this, with Mr. Vick's dogmaticness, I'm feeling a torture ticket.
Uh-oh.
I believe it's time to bring those back.
Yeah.
We're back in the football season.
We are. Yeah.
It strikes me as a torture ticket.
That's a torture ticket right there.
As decided by the House.
Yes, there you go.
Where the hell's my bell? Oh,
there it is.
It's behind my bank.
Yeah.
And present accounted for.
Yeah.
Action to you, Mr. Vick.
What could we possibly do? What are you willing to give up? Dignity?
I don't have any of that left. I lost that a long time ago.
Yeah. Of all the things I've lost, my dignity, I don't miss that.
I lost my
much.
dignity and my virginity in about the same week.
You probably. Young, spruced up, ginger, not yet
I
bearded.
wasn't always a ginger.
No, is that right?
I actually had bleached blonde hair as a child.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Did you not see the picture of me in my Ninja Turtles?
I did see that. It was a
It was a cute
He
little
was a
bastard.
cute little fucker, I tell you
A
what.
cute little bastard.
Yeah, he was.
Kevin Vick says he's listing.
Ha!
The wiffle ball bet is being that is being brought up.
The waffle ball bat.
I don't think anybody's taking that bet with me. I mean, I'm all the way in. For if you don't know what we're talking about,
Yeah,
it's Rochambeau with a wiffle ball. bat.
Oh. Yeah. No, I'm good.
What would be a good? I'm trying to think with Kevin Vick. What would be a good torture ticket?
Carolina Reaper on air.
I think he likes hot shit.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about for you.
I like hot shit.
Well, you know,
I eat Carolina Reaper wings every time I go to the social.
that's true. That bastard does like the hot shit.
Oh, you can't make it hot enough for me.
I know, it's crazy. I just don't like the sweat when I eat, and I already have a problem with that because I'm fat. And
Well, I mean, based on that $407 McDonald's order you made Saturday,
that's going to be okay.
yeah, I
The
polished
amount-
off the last of those Big Macs last night.
Yeah, the amount of, like, free shit I'm getting from McDonald's over the app because I ordered all that is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
How many free double quarter pounders did you get off of that, or quarter pounders did you get off of that?
Basically, I could buy one, get one free of anything I want for the end of time.
Sweet.
And get a free fry and, you know, drink, but you already pay $1 for a drink. Thank you for that $1.
Yeah, thank you for the $1. That's $1.29 that
I appreciate you guys.
Jason Trump said walking downtown giving out free hugs.
Ooh, Jeremy
That
does
would
not
be
like to
horrible.
hug people.
Oh god, that's a double loser for me.
Does not like to touch people or have people touch him.
Or be in downtown Asheville.
Or be in downtown Asheville. So,
There's really nothing about that I liked.
well, that's part of the game. It's torture.
Somebody touched HWA's ass the last time we were downtown.
Oh gosh,
that didn't end well.
It probably didn't. I can't imagine it did.
Didn't end well.
No, no.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, we will conspire about a torture ticket.
Yes.
It appears that Kevin Vick and I are both in. We just got to figure out what the ticket is.
Yes, and we got to figure that out by next Sunday. Next Sunday. Next
Yep.
Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Yeah. God Almighty.
God, we're
So
here.
quick. It's so here. It's so
We're here.
good. So ready. I'm the big boss over at the Twisted Laurel in Weaverville. Stop on by, see your friend Brian.
The best gin and tonic you'll ever drink in your life.
It's called the Watermelon Cooler.
It's so
really,
good.
really delicious.
Watermelon, cucumber, and gin and tonic.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. Good stuff. I was able to get myself off on that first Sunday of football season. I will not have to work, which means that I'll be aggressively pounding booze, hopefully right next to the fellas or in front of the fellas at the old porchy. Which,
boy.
yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun to me. If I can make it out there.
Oh, I will be. That's the first Sunday is going to be insane.
Well, here's the thing about what I know about that is that Jeremy lives like upstairs from the porch. So
I live within 500 steps of the place.
So if things happen and I get a little toasty, I can go take a nap.
Oh yeah, there is a spare bed.
Take a little nap or come back for the night game, see what's happening. But let's be clear here. It's all about just watching my fantasy team, which I'm not very high on this year again. But, I've played some – I'm pretty high on what we drafted on Saturday. I feel my team's pretty good.
So that's our first best ball league.
Yeah.
For the battle for the belt.
Yep.
That contest is getting absolutely enormous.
It's awesome.
And I am a huge fan of it.
It's really awesome that we got such participation over the air. The Dude Sports.
The Dude Takes podcast.
The Dude Takes. Yeah,
Zach Sawyer.
Yeah.
Throwing out 5 free entries.
That's awesome.
We matched that.
I saw that just the other day. I was like, that's super cool. That's the kind
It
of
was a
stuff that
great
we like.
idea. It
Yeah.
was a great idea.
Yeah. 100%.
We didn't even think of that.
Mm-mm. That's good stuff right there. Have we met this fella before?
I met him once.
Yeah.
I met him at a bar.
Nice.
Watching the NBA draft.
There we go.
Wound up doing shots.
Anybody surprised?
Who's
at that?
shocked?
Yeah, I know, right? Who's shocked at that one?
That is how many of those go. Armchair Commentary asked, when are the rest of the drafts? The sign-up sheet goes up today.
Yeah.
So with best ball, with it being for charity, we wanted to push the best ball as long as we could.
Yeah.
So we wanted cuts to happen. A guy like Marlon Mack is a good example of why.
Right.
You take up a spot on the roster, then he gets cut. Now you have no idea where he's going.
Right.
So we wanted to push these as far as we could.
And also that means Dameon Pierce to the moon.
No doubt.
I mean,
Dameon Pierce now probably MVP of the league. I mean, I think that's
without a
safe
doubt.
bet.
Safe bet.
Safe bet.
1,600 yards, easily.
No doubt.
Without a doubt. 15 touchdowns.
No doubt.
Every touchdown the Texans score this year.
I will be putting out, obviously, the sign-up sheet.
Yep.
You'll be able to pick your time for best ball draft. That's how we're going to fill them.
Yeah.
We got a lot of you.
Yeah.
So that's going to be – it's just the fairest way to do it. First come, first serve. And then I will put out the DraftKings link. What is today? Wednesday?
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Thursday was when all of the player pool was supposed to be locked
Yep.
and all the things were supposed to be good. So
I'm happy to see. I like the fact that we're doing a daily. For this.
Well, I mean, it was just, to me, it made the most sense.
Yeah.
Because if you draft a guy and he gets hurt, well, now my fucking season's over.
Right, and then you also
and then it's not fun to hear us talk about it because
Right.
you have no shot.
right, or you end up losing the first couple games of the season. You know what I mean? You start to lose interest. This is a way to keep everybody involved every single week. It doesn't matter if you've got crushed the first couple weeks. You can go out week 3 and pick the best lineup.
Yeah.
Period. So, I mean, I think that's the thing. Not to mention, Jeremy's pretty much given away. If you're a part of, was it the Patreon you're part of? That if you get that, you get all of Jeremy's picks.
If
pretty
you're
much?
in the Patreon, you'll get every college pick every week, every NFL pick every week.
Yeah.
It's free in the month of September, so nobody will be charged for next month. You have to get in today.
Yeah.
Today's the last day because I have to freeze it so nobody gets charged.
Right.
So.
Yeah, get in there, get that Patreon, guys. I mean,
Justin Harvey is doing great work on all of those things.
Oh, nice.
We've teamed up on that.
Good for you guys.
You were talking about the fair.
Yeah.
I always think of Harvey when the fair comes up.
Is that right?
We were at Verizon together.
Yeah.
And so we were on we did the fair things,
Of course.
festivals and shit.
Yeah.
There are some people that would like to see me just burn in hell for things I did. We had a soundboard. So just like
I'm your boy.
we had one of those that played over the loudspeaker.
Oh.
We had some farm animal noises. We had some. I about got in a fight with a toothless guy.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
Oh yeah. Oh God, I have so many stories from that I could never ever tell on air.
Yeah.
Or maybe I could. Hell, maybe we'll tell them next week when the fair's in town.
When the fair is in town, ready to rock and roll.
If anybody else has any more questions, we got about 5 minutes left in this first here episode of Mullet and the Dude.
Absolutely.
We will happily answer any questions
Any
that
questions
you
you got, throw them out of there.
We will be doing with the ESPN show today. Obviously, we'll be talking NFL because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Most overrated list. I am actively working on my top 100. I hope
Nice.
to have that ready for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Chief Zach's wedding. We got some festivities tomorrow.
And that means, that's going to happen. Saturday's going to happen, which means Sunday, Jeremy's not going to be doing much of anything.
I'm going to sit around taking aggressive nappies, waiting for LSU, Florida State, hoping that we can stay close.
Stay close.
Hoping that we can stay close. Any other college games that you wanted to talk about that we didn't get to?
No, I think we kind of covered them pretty much. The ones I wanted to talk about.
I'm taking another precursor. I mean, there's a lot that I want to talk about from a gambling perspective,
Yes.
but not necessarily from a, hey, this will be fun to watch.
Yeah. Jason Trump talked about Jimmy G being the backup quarterback. We talked about that a little bit before we were on air. My take on that was we'll find out what kind of man Trey Lance is because he's got the job. But
It's Trey Lance's team, and I think it's a fool's errand to have a vet that took you to a Super Bowl sitting behind him.
that won the job last year, who beat you out from the job last year, I think if Trey Lance is going to have some, freaking cojones to him to say, I don't give a shit who's behind me.
Well,
I'm gonna
you're
go out
just
there and
asking
win."
for trouble.
Right.
I mean, that's my opinion, is that you're asking for trouble.
And you're going to say, and the fan base, the first time Trey Lance goes out there and throws a couple interceptions in the first half, what's going to happen?
In the YouTube comments, first of all, before I get to these, one of the games we didn't talk about, Cincinnati, Arkansas.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a lean there?
I think that
I have a definitive.
I like Arkansas.
I do too. I'm leaning Arkansas. I have not fully made that pick yet.
I think what's the head coach's name for Arkansas?
Sam Pittman.
I love that guy.
I do too.
I think he's going to be one of the
Did you hear his quote about the guys that went in the transfer portal?
Oh, yeah.
Well, fuck them.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay.
I like that guy. I think he's done
too.
more with less in the last year or two. I mean, he came out freaking just blazing. I love it. I like the guy. I think he's got a future. I think he's going to be a head coach on the rise in college football, where you're going to see him at a pretty big program pretty soon.
I would say Arkansas is probably the capper for. I mean, you got to realize he's 60 years old.
That's true.
He was a long time assistant.
Long time.
But I do like him. I think he's a very, very good.
Oh yeah,
very, very good coach.
Mm-hmm.
In the YouTube comments, Bill Buttigieg asked, "Do you think Miami will be a contender this year for the ACC?" Yes. For the playoff, no.
No.
Miami has a bunch of, I'll call them pothole games.
Mm-hmm.
Just I can't tell you which one they're going to lose.
Yeah.
But you just look at the schedule. You're at Texas A&M September 17th. You take on Carolina, Florida State, Clemson, Pittsburgh. I just think you're going to get caught at some point.
Yeah.
And you probably get caught twice.
Right.
And if I had to project it, I would say it's A&M and Clemson.
Well, and not to mention Miami's track record over the last 5 years has not shown them to be able to go into big games and actually succeed in some of those.
They've pooed in their punch bowl a few times.
Yep.
But I think that will be different with Cristobal.
Yeah.
I think Cristobal's the guy that brings that program back.
100%.
He has the swagger. He has the local connection, all of the things. John DeLon asked, is it possible to be a Florida State fan and keep your dignity intact? I lost that so long ago.
He lost a long time ago.
That and my virginity. They went.
Things are going to be different in about a year or so when Deion Sanders takes over. But then they're going to go in the SEC, and then they're going to get trounced.
Well, I mean, the money's right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to understand, Jimbo screwed you.
Yep.
Because Jimbo was spending money like nobody likes spending other people's money more than Jimbo Fisher does. Then you get fucked by Willie Taggart.
Yep.
Have to pay the buyout, all of the things.
All those things.
So I mean, you're behind the eight ball financially.
Yeah.
Now they've gotten that straightened out. The new AD has a long track record of fundraising.
Yes.
And has raised just a boatload of money.
Yeah. Just short of a gajillion.
They just debuted the new locker room in March. The standalone football facility breaks ground in December.
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't think Florida State's that far away. I'm just not sure Norvell's the coach.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, if they're not bowl eligible this year, he will be on his ass.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Absolutely.
And Deion Sanders will be the next head coach.
100%. And he'll bring along his nice little toy. Deion Sanders, his number one wide receiver.
Hunter. The corner, Travis Hunter.
Yeah, corner, yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
He seemed okay being in Florida State anyway.
Yeah.
until Deion threw $1 billion at him.
And he said, "Come on, guy."
Well, this has been fun.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
We will be doing these weekly.
Yep.
With Brian and I. We've got a couple other morning show things that we will be pulling out for the football season. It's good to see you again.
Absolutely,
good
brother.
to see you after with an actual headset on and not 14 beers deep.
Yeah, no doubt. Not getting into what we were trying to get accomplished. Really, that was more of a Brian got a free day and decided he wanted to drink
and that's okay.
There's nothing wrong with
Hey, we raised money for charity. That's what we're after.
It's,
be sure to sign up for Battle of the Belts. We will be back, Mr. Spencer and I, at 3 o'clock this afternoon, the ESPN Radio live show. And Brian, we'll see you next week.
Next week, baby.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Absolutely. Good to see everybody again.